Hello everyone and welcome back to the Road to Rotation. Up next we have Blue-Green Sanji. This is a very old leader with a very awkward ability. It's one that a lot of people have tried out in the past. It is a 5,000 life leader with 4 life in blue and green, with once per turn when you play a character without an effect from your hand. If you have 3 or less characters in play, set up to 2 of your Dawn as active. So this plays out like a very aggressive aggro deck, using out even as much as these 2-cost vanillas, because the first one is essentially free if you have 3 or less characters. So you can establish an early board and exert some pretty good pressure early on in the game. And then they also added in OP02 a nice card here that lets you play out vanillas to establish board on 4 pretty easily and get that Dawn back. So there's a lot of kind of aggressive plays here. Other things that I'm running here, I'm running the Mihawk, who can play out Zoro, or Brook, or Zoro, or Weevil. And I'm running the other Mihawk as just a big in-game play that allows me to establish a blocker and keep assembling my board. A couple of Paradise Waterfalls, mainly to work with Dracula and Mihawk, but they can be pretty good at defending some of your lower cost things, just as a way to keep the pressure up. And then a lot of the cards that are kind of important in the deck are Straw Hats, so I'm running the Straw Hat Searcher. So that's kind of just a preview of the deck, and it's pretty straightforward as far as things go. You want to spam out as many bodies as you can and swing with 5s and 6s all across the board, and just try to overwhelm your opponent. A lot of decks struggle with generating bodies as quickly. You will lose the long game because you are playing vanillas and they just aren't as good as other cards. But you really are hoping to kind of push opponents off guard and rush them down before they can have a chance to react. So yeah, let's go ahead and hop into some games. Alright, first up here we have Mono Red Luffy from the starter deck. So this is definitely going to be an aggro race here, and we will see how it plays out. Our opponent has opted to go second. We don't have a very good curve for going first here, so let's mulligan. This is a lot better. We get to play out the Weevil early here, and I think that'll probably be enough to stave off it getting removed on that first turn. Them hitting the Nami and Nami combo is pretty good for them, and a little unfortunate. If your opponent has 2 or more characters on the field, okay. I think it might be actually correct here to do Mihawk into Zoro, resting the Nami here, and let's burn a turn swinging into this Nami just to really take off that ability that is really potent from their leader ability, and this really helps a lot to mitigate that. I think it is correct to probably protect this one, although I guess if we let it go, we do get to do Mihawk into Weevil next turn. Okay, so they're going with the Rush. Oh, they do not have access to the Rush, so it's just going to be a 5k swing, which definitely seems like something we should protect. Oh, they're going to go at face. Even better for us, because we'll have even more access to stuff here. So actually, it is probably better in this spot to play out Usopp into Weevil, because we don't need to. We still have under 3, so we can use our leader ability here. So Usopp effectively costs 1, and then Weevil will cost the other one, so let's swing here. Alternatively, we could play Chopper, but I think we want to hold on to the 2k counters. So Usopp into Weevil, and there we go. We have a nice board here. I think we're just going to probably ignore this Zoro, because it will play out if the character active. That kind of halts our aggression right away there. And although it does get a card out of hand, it Well, I don't know. Now that I think about it. With a base power of 6 or less. Oh, Tony Chopper is probably not too big of a concern here. We are going to get 2 on Zoro, though. Where are they going to swing the 6? 6 here. I think I will give them 1 of these. And then if they want to swing again, that means we get to keep up our aggression here. They're holding up 1. Yeah, we're gonna let it go. Okay. So let's start with just a 5 here. Let's see if they want to use up this block right away. 6 was the better number here because they have the 6K blocker. Oh, they just take. Okay. Can we do something about that? Not really. And we have too many guys to use the Usopp. Too many guys to use leader ability. I think we just... no, it's better to go 6s here. Yeah, 6, 6, and then play out a 6. I think is the correct way to play this out. If they do want to use this chopper early, then we get to go with a 5 on one of the swings. And then we'll go 6, just in case they want to use this. We definitely have them cramped on resources here. All right, so let's do another 6 so that it's not a free block with this chopper. They still don't have Rad Beam up, even though they are kind of representing it. They don't have access to Rad Beam yet. I mean, Rad Beam still works here because it's only I'm only swinging for 6, but it is not. Oh, they do use it for the less value. I suppose that makes sense. They need to use the cards that they have. And here, now that we've evened up the board with 4 cards apiece and 3 life apiece, and we have a bigger board overall, I think we're in a pretty good spot. This Nami is going to be a problem. Dragon. Dragon means that they're probably going to be able to clear some amount of our board, and we won't have a good recourse for clearing. They used Dragon's ability on Nami. Interesting choice there. Probably means they want to go at the Mihawk just to try to get stuff out. We'll see where they place these. A 5 there is an easy counter. Nine is fine. We were going to lose him probably anyways. They still haven't used this ability, so they're probably going to aim for a 6 at the Usopp. Now, I think I let that one go. I think we just... what do we do here? We do have access to leader ability this time around, so let's go ahead and get that out of the way. And we have all of this done. I think I'll leave 1 up, so that's 6 to work with. 5 and 5 is 6. 5 and 6 is 16. Plus 6 is 22. Divided by 3 is 7, 7, 8. So let's just go ahead and do that. And push our opponent real low on life. 7, 7. And I think this combination of 2K Paradise Waterfall will let us keep one of our guys. 8 face. I don't think that this Nami's going to be an issue. We'll get to keep likely 2 bodies here. If they get the trigger, they get the trigger. That's unfortunate. Yeah, they did get the trigger here. So we pass here. So we will get to have 2 swings. Depending on how much they invest, I think we can get it mathed. But it'll be close. Probably not mathed. But if they use enough cards, it is math. Luffy. Oh, let's see if they go for it. I don't think it's correct to go for it. 3 bodies. Let's see how they play it. 6 here. Let's do the Paradise Waterfall restanding that one. I don't think they can kill us here. So if they kill Usopp, we just need to get in 2 swings at least 2K, 2K. 2 10s means they have to have all 2s. Or a 9. If they have any bricks, so 9. Oh, with a 6K that helps. So that's 21, that's 10, 11. Yeah, that should be enough to get there, I think. Unless they play a blocker, which if they play blocker, that's just what it is. And we do have a couple outs to blocker as well. But let's see here. No, I can't actually defend it because the dragon and the Luffy here are still available. But they have used up all of their Dawn. And we have 2 swings. I think it's actually correct to protect 1 life here, so I'm going to give the Mihawk. This chopper can come out as another leader ability activation here. 4, 5, 6. Yep, that's fine. Oh, you can get another 2K here. Okay. So 10, 11 is the correct play here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 10. And then if they have it, they have it. But we have definitely done, yeah. So did exactly what the game plan is, which is get out a whole bunch of bodies and aggro the heck out of them. So let's go ahead and hop on to the next game. Ooh, up next we have Ace and Whitebeard. That's an interesting one. They've opted to go first. I think I can mulligan and do better than this. Yeah, on 4 we get to do Usopp into Zoro and a swing. So that's pretty good. We do not get need to do anything here. I wonder if there is room for a little more 2K vanilla or 2 cost vanillas in this deck. Yeah, I fully expected that. So we do U into a 7. And we pass the turn. They will, if they play out the ace, they're going to have enough characters for Zoro to be active, which means we do get to swing at, yeah, there's the Atmos. I'm not surprised at that. Oh, Izo means that they didn't have the ace, which is a great part for us. Looks like they're going to go for the double attack with Rush. Another 8K swing here. Well, we don't have a 2K, so I guess we're going to take this one. We're just going to really push in on our opponent at this point. So here we want to do this Usopp, I think, which costs me just 1, and then 5 Dawn left. We can play out in Weevil and do some swinging. So let's do Usopp. Let's do some 5s. Let's get some 5s in here. 5, 5, 7, and Weevil, I think is the correct line here. Okay, so they are using up their abilities here to try to clean up their hand. And, oh, they use both. Okay, so they're definitely digging for things to get around all of this aggression, because they're only going to 7 Dawn next turn, which I think is definitely quite useful for us. 7 here, and then we play out this Weevil. Oh, they hit a trigger here? They're thinking on it. They did not. All right. And we pass back. Whitey Bay. That's fine. They have 2 bricks. That's super useful information here. The 2 bricks in hand, either they drew them or they were just keeping them, which seems like a bold play to make. Okay, they're gonna bounce one of our guys. 7 here. I think it is correct to use some counter here. Yeah, so let's do you, and one of you. Resolve that. Here we're just gonna go ham on them here. We can't use leader ability. So at this point we just go for as many. Let's see, we can go 7, 7, 7, and then do a Nami search. So let's do that. 7. They are going to get to do the double swing with the new gate next turn, but all we have to do against that is take one of the earlier swings. 7. All right, wow. Our opponent was, oh my goodness, were they bricked up. I don't think I've seen that many bricks in a while. So unfortunate for our opponent, but we executed game plan. So let's move on to the next one. All right. Ooh, this is an interesting one. This is a matchup that I'm sure I played before. We have Sanji versus Kaido. I think I have been liking going first. Yeah, and we even have the Nami here. So we're going to keep this. If we can find Usopp, then we are in a great spot. We do not find Usopp. I meant the film Usopp specifically. So unfortunately we didn't find that. But we do get to play out Mihawk into Zoro. And still get a 7 as well. Because you're only 2 or less characters. So if I do Mihawk into Zoro, or I can do Jinbei. Yeah, so it's Mihawk into Zoro is the better play. So Mihawk, Zoro, and a 7. And we pass the turn here. We do have the advantage that this Usopp will work on the next turn. Only playing out a Jinbei at this point, but I think that's probably okay. Ulti. Okay, they're going the ulti page 1. Okay, okay. We are going to take here, looking for a card. Yep, Usopp into Chopper here. So that is... We won't get leader ability off of it. We'll have 1 left, which is perfect for our swings here. So let's go 5. And then a 6. And then Usopp into Chopper and another 5. Our opponent is rapidly going to run out of cards at this rate, which is going to work out great for us because they're only on 5. We can defend some reasonable attacks here. Zoro would be a good one for us to have. Their main blocker is Queen, which is not going to be one that we're going to be able to rest with this, but we can get in some aggression towards our guys here. A Black Maria, interesting choice on this one. This is definitely a spicier list. I haven't seen this much Animal Kingdom Pirate stuff in a long time. Going back to OP04, so I'm going to do that. We defend the 6s for sure. 5, we're not going to defend that. That's too many cards. And we're going to go 7 at him, so this one we will defend. And we do have this Zoro who can just eat up this queen here. Or this one. They are going... Is it correct here? We definitely do this, and then we swing into you. Okay, they let it go. Let's go 5. Let's see what they. This seems like a trigger. They do get a trigger for an active Dawn. 5, 6, 6. I think we have essentially 0 chance of dying here. Let's go another 5. We get there. Yay. This deck is doing exactly what it wants to do. Let's go ahead and do one more because these have been pretty quick. Ooh, interesting one here. Koala is an interesting one that is going to be tough because we won't get to use our guys. I am going to go first, though. I think we can probably start to get some good aggro here. We will keep... We have a couple of the cards that play out other cards, but we can opt not to take those if we need and use those for counter, hoping to find vanillas here. We do find a vanilla. Yeah, we're going to go ahead and do that. Captain's a symbol. We're going to definitely get in for some aggro here. The interesting thing is it might be worth it to, because this isn't trash, right? It's put it to hand. They add it to their hand. So I'm actually tempted to go for that. Yeah, I think that's correct even. And then we do Mihawk into Weevil. They're gonna make us do it, and we pass here. A 5. I think we won't be able to use this Usopp very well, so let's not do that one. You're a blocker. Unfortunate that we are going to get that, so let's just go with 6 here. If they want to use their ability, that just unlocks our ability to use a lead. So I am willing to make this trade. They do take it. All right, so now we get to play a U out for 2. We get to go a 5 here and a 5 with Nami here. 1, 2, 3. Or do we play out Usopp? I think it's better to play out Usopp here. This is more consistent swings here. Our opponent can play out the Kuma here. Nami pitching a card. Okay. I think I'm okay with this. That one we will counter. Only at 7 is a little unfortunate. I think the correct play is just jam. We have 6 to work with. 16 and 6 is 22, so 7, 7, 8 if I remember the math. Let's just do it. 7, 7. Ooh. Let's go a 5. And a 5. Okay, yeah, we have them on 1 life. So if they use Dragon Get Back Kuma, I don't know if they've countered with a Kuma yet. They have not. It is the Robin, which does not work in this situation. A 5 at lead we will take. A 5 there, we will Paradise Waterfall. All right, so here it is now plus 2 more, so it's 8, 8, 8 is the correct lines. Or 8, 7, 8, 9 maybe is the correct one. So let's do that. 7. They take. 1, 2, 3, 8. 2, 3, 4. 2, 3. Let's see. Okay, they go for that. Yeah, there we go. So let's go ahead and do the wrap up. This has been a lot more fun than I expected. All right, so doing the wrap up, this deck executed pretty well on its plan. I think there may be room a little bit to add maybe one or two more twos because I didn't see very many of them, and I would have liked to see maybe one more or two more across the games that we played. Other cards, I didn't play out the Brook, so that would be a card that we could probably switch out with a vanilla. I wonder if there's another 4-class slash, so let's look at that. And we want a 4-cost vanilla slash. We just have that one. 4-cost vanilla slash. We don't have any more in green. There would be an argument maybe for an Arlong or something like that to give good tech into what's it called? Into Zoro. We didn't face any in this video. I have faced a couple other ones though, so I know it's not trivial. 4-cost vanillas. We have AO. He might be okay as a slash character. So yeah, I guess we have some options. Another thing we could look into, if the Weevils are something that we like, we could play into the Weevil package. But I think that's probably better for Zoro and Sanji because you get to bounce the Miss Buckins. Other things we could add would be more 2Ks. 2Ks would be pretty useful here. This is a slash 2K. Maybe replacing... well, no, we don't need slash if it's up to 5 because he only plays out 4s. Shiguryu Kingdom is another one we could do, which would mean that we could play out, for example, the Perona. Yeah, and maybe the Perona is the correct one because we don't really need slash type. Realistically, the Mihawk plays it out, just is the only card that cares about the slash. So we don't really need that. We could play out the Perona in the place of maybe a couple of these Brook. I do think that you want some Brooks, but maybe not all of them. Other cards that we could maybe consider. I think there's room for adding in, if we want to lean into slash, we can play out. We could play Koshiros as earlier game things to just block up the board. But yeah, overall, I was quite pleased with this deck. We didn't face too much of the meta decks, which allowed us to kind of aggro over people, whereas most meta decks would not fold to this. But this did work at plan as soon as your opponents aren't playing cards that just completely overwhelm you in power. So I think it was a pretty good showcase of the deck, and I'm quite happy with it. The next leader in the series, I believe, is going to be the Mono Blue Ivankov, which is one that I've been interested in coming back to. I did play it a little bit when it came out. Don't remember if I got any tournament wins with it, or I mean, win the whole tournaments. I definitely won some games. There's definitely some potent cards in there, especially after EVO1 where they added more cards to it. But I'm definitely looking forward to that, so I hope you guys are too. And with that, we'll kind of close it out, and I will see you guys in the next video. Bye.